Hey there, Yorktown. It's Supervisor Matt Slater coming to you live again from my kitchen as Town Hall remains closed for sanitation, providing you with another update regarding COVID-19. Got quite a few things to cover today. It seems like the information continues to flow. We'll start with what seems to be everyone's number one question, and that's the number of people we have here in Yorktown. The number today is up to 125 cases. We have 125 confirmed cases in the town of Yorktown. That's an increase of 5 from yesterday. Westchester County is now up to 10,683. That's an increase of 716. New York State, statewide, we have 83,712. That is an increase of 7,917. That is the increase there. So again, Yorktown, another increase of 5, pushing us to 125 confirmed COVID-19 cases in our community. I wanted to talk a little bit today about something new that we launched on our website. I want to thank our staff for their tremendous help launching this today. It's our COVID-19 Community Impact Dashboard. So you don't have to just wait for these live updates. You can go right on the town's website, yorktownny.org. You can click on the COVID-19 update page, and we continue to provide an enormous amount of information as we get it right on that page to help everyone deal with this ongoing situation. And we just launched this, and I'm going to see if I can turn this around real quick and see if I can zoom in here. But we just launched this today, and I'm going to see if we can get this. I think that's as far as it's going to go. But basically, what you're going to see here, moving forward, you're going to see the total count for the town of Yorktown, which is again 125 today. It shows you the trajectory that we've been on as we've received data from our partners in county government and from the state. It also shows you the county's number as reported, which again today stands at 10,683. It also shows you through graphs and imagery what that trajectory has looked like during this crisis, and it provides you with some additional information as well as when our next live update is, and if you need any questions, contact information directly to my office. So again, that's the COVID-19 Community Impact Dashboard. I think we're the first municipality in Westchester actually to launch this, and again, that's part of our mission and continued dedication to providing you with valid and accurate information as we get it. A couple of things from the governor's office today. Regeneron, and Regeneron's a Westchester County-based company, but their principals have really impressive ties to the town of Yorktown, so I want to thank them. Regeneron is donating 500,000 test kits to the state of New York so we can continue to increase testing. The testing for COVID-19 in the state of New York, we're still testing more per capita, as the governor continues to point out. We are testing more per capita than China and South Korea. So as we continue to test more, we're going to find more positive cases. That's the correlation. So even though we're seeing an increase and a continued build towards that apex, which we still believe is roughly 2 weeks away, a lot of that is also correlating with the increase in testing. I was briefed today by Northern Westchester Hospital, along with some of my colleagues who were supervisors in neighboring communities. A couple of notes from that briefing that I'm happy to share with everyone at home. Their emergency department is mostly empty, surprisingly, and this was at noon, so everything can change. But during the briefing, they reported that their emergency department was mostly empty and remained open. Most who are testing positive when they come to the hospital are actually being released and being quarantined at home. Only those with severe and life-threatening conditions are being admitted at this point. They do have 56 COVID 19 patients as of noon today, and they are actually hosting a community meeting tomorrow. I believe it's going to be over Facebook at 4 p.m., and so we'll share that information with the public, so anyone who wants to hear directly from one of our local hospitals can get that information and participate in that community meeting. Most importantly, the hospital officials really emphasize the importance of social distancing. New York on pause remains in effect, 100% reduction of non-essential workforce. Town Hall remains, our Town Hall employees and all departments in Town Hall are working remotely this week. We did have our second positive case of a staff member, and so out of an abundance of caution, we are having all Town Hall employees work remotely. In addition, the hospital staff and executives wanted to just really emphasize the fact that they feel that their hospital is well prepared and positioned for the coming weeks. And again, we talk about the apex, the peak of what we expect, and we still expect that within the next 2 weeks. And they informed myself and a number of other supervisors locally that they feel that they are in a very good position to handle that. Additionally, today I actually was a part of a conference call with Dr. Fauci, who continues to head up the COVID-19 task force in the federal level. He emphasized a lot of the things that we continue to hear, mostly that escalation of cases over the next 2 weeks are expected. And I've said this before, the next 2 weeks are going to be intense. Don't let the sunshine fool you. This is still a major issue within our community, within our region, within our state, and within our nation. And so they expect the escalation of cases to continue, but, and there is some silver lining here, that we can still modify those projections. And I think that we've done a very good job, quite frankly, in the town of Yorktown through some of the parameters that we've put forward. But Dr. Fauci did emphasize the fact that we can modify those projections with proper action. And that's, again, social distancing. That's the proper hygiene. Only leaving your house when you absolutely need to. And again, I know the sun's out and everyone wants to go enjoy the spring. Happy April all. But again, if we want to flatten that curve and we want to reduce the projections, it is critically important, vital, that we continue to practice social distancing to the best of our abilities. And that's just not, and I say it to my staff, we had a department head conference call just moments ago utilizing Zoom, and I've emphasized it to them. It's not just practicing social distancing and good hygiene when you're at work, but also when you're at home. And so, again, the number one issue that Dr. Fauci had emphasized was social distancing and staying home unless absolutely necessary. Also had another conference call with my partners in county government, County Executive Latimer, who continues to do a tremendous job as well. Unfortunately, we do have some poor news in that we do have 64 deaths in the county of Westchester that are COVID-19. We have requested a municipal breakdown so that we are made aware if there are those who lose their battle with COVID-19. Currently, we would not be notified of that. We have requested that, and we are hopeful that data is coming. Statewide, we have lost 1,941 New Yorkers to COVID-19. The data has been something that we continue to talk about. And again, if you go on the dashboard that we launched today, you'll see there is discrepancy within the data because there's a time lag, and I've continued to talk about this. The numbers that I'm sharing, the number of 125, isn't today's number. That number is actually anywhere from 72 hours plus old at this point. And so the county is trying to process the data as best as they can. They received 2,000 records today, and so they are trying their best to process that as quickly and expeditiously as possible so that they can report back to the individual municipalities as to what the count based on those records now stands at. I'm not going to get into projections. I'm not going to get into estimates. But as I said before, the next 2 weeks are going to be very trying and intense for this community. But we've continued to persevere. We've continued to rally around each other, and I have every belief that we will continue to do so. The county parks, the county executive is warning folks that if social distancing is not observed, county parks, well, he's going to close them individually. He's not going to do a broad-based county parks closure. But if there are folks who continue to show a lack of obedience to the social distancing, then he will begin to close individual county parks. Golf courses do remain open. The county golf courses do remain open. They have taken specific steps to minimize any type of social distancing, specifically at the clubhouses or any restaurants that may be operating. They have now been, my understanding, is closed. Also, just a little bit ago, the governor has closed all New York City playgrounds, again, because social distancing was not being adhered to. That's something that we did here in Yorktown 2 weeks ago, is close and restrict access to all of our active parks, our playgrounds, basketball courts, our sports fields, for this exact reason. And that's why I say we as a community have done, I think, a great job, and we were ahead of the curve, and we were, frankly, on the forefront and leading from the front on these types of policy decisions. And I understand not everyone may have agreed with them at the time. They were not easy decisions to make, but they were made with everyone's health and well-being as our number one priority. And so now New York City has closed its playgrounds to the public as well. Other numbers from Westchester County for everyone: 37,190 people have been tested from Westchester County. That is a total of 17% of the state's total testing actually has come from Westchester. So we have seen a larger sample size, as the county executive so elegantly described. Westchester makes up, I believe, 5% of the total state population. So that's the barometer. So anything north or south, it gives you an indication as to where we are, statewide and where we should be statewide. So 5% of the total population, but we're testing at 17% of the total tests for the state of New York. So again, that's why we expect to see that increased correlation in cases, which we have. Currently, the information we have is that there are 268 residents currently hospitalized. We did hear, from our friends at Northern Westchester, that there are patients that are being brought up to Westchester from other parts of the state, mostly downstate, because their hospital systems are so stressed. That is something that the governor has talked about, is unifying our healthcare system and our hospital system, so they're just one instead of individual private hospital systems. So when the hospital systems in the city or in Long Island become overwhelmed, then they can rely on hospital systems further north and vice versa. If the wave, as they talk about, or the apex hits New York City and then potentially Westchester next, once it goes past us or as it approaches us, we can utilize our partners in healthcare and the healthcare system either further north or south, depending on the situation at that time. The last point I want to make is regarding taxes. We still receive a number of inquiries and questions about taxes. The deadline remains April 30th. I have sent Governor Cuomo a letter just yesterday as they are finalizing the state budget. We have not seen details of what that budget is. We are awaiting anxiously. But I did send him a personal letter that is on our website and our social media outlets that is requesting his assistance. And I think the governor has done an absolutely phenomenal job managing the state during this crisis. But we do need to also keep in mind that there are a number of folks who are being impacted economically and financially. And with the town taxes due April 30th, we are requesting some flexibility. To that end, I did participate again with a conference call with the county executive and our municipal leaders across Westchester County. I believe that the county is going to be proposing some flexibility in certain aspects, and I don't want to get into the details just yet because I want the county, that's being done by the county executive and the board of legislators. But I do want to commend them for their work and their diligence on this. This is not an easy topic. It is a domino effect, but they do recognize, especially County Executive Latimer recognizes the impact that people are facing financially. And so this is what government's supposed to do: work together to find solutions and we hope to see additional details and a more comprehensive plan from our partners on the county level in the coming days. So we continue to fight, like I said, for all of us here in Yorktown. We continue to provide as much information as we can as it becomes validated. I encourage everyone to utilize our website, yorktownny.org. You go right onto the COVID-19 page, and you do see that the dashboard is up and running. It provides you, again, not just current but historical data, so you can see the impact this is having right here in our community in the town of Yorktown. All I want to reemphasize again is the perseverance of this community. We continue to brace for the apex. We continue to brace for the worst. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But Yorktown, and again, we did it today with our dashboard. We continue to lead from the front. We continue to strive to give you as much information as possible to make the best decisions for you and your family. And despite the fact that Town Hall our Town Hall employees are working remotely, town government continues to function. People are getting their questions answered from our tax receiver. They are hearing from our town assessor. Our highway department continues to do amazing things, making sure that our roads are safe and clean and clear. Our water department continues to work. Our parks department is making sure that our parks are safe and clean. By the way, the litter issue continues, but I do know for a fact that we had our code enforcement out there today, and fines were handed out today, not just for littering in public places, but for parking in fire lanes. These are things that are quality of life issues that we have committed to enforcing, and we are enforcing. So I just really want to emphasize to folks, littering is against the law. You will be fined. Parking in fire lanes, we've said it at town board meetings for months, is against the law. You will be fined. We have people out who are enforcing the law, and that is only for your protection and improving our quality of life. We're in this together. We're going to get through this together. That's how Yorktown rallies around each other. And I know that I already am very proud to be a part of this community, to lead this community. And I know that we're going to persevere through this challenge. So keep our heads up. Continue to stay home unless absolutely necessary. And know that if there's any new information that's valid and accurate, we'll be back tomorrow at the same time. So take care, stay healthy, stay safe, have a good night. Thank you.